time. My Resident Evil story was ever full forever. I'm glad it was my favorite game to that.
All right, welcome viewers. Thanks for the share. Just going to go over the deck list that we're playing for the rest of the night. It is Grixis Delver, which I think is going to be very well positioned moving forward. I think Deathrite Shaman is going to be a key card in the format. So just going to get all the cards out here. One of the kind of scary things about this deck is it runs no basics. So coming off of running Miracles, that's a massive change. The mana base is a bit of a liability, but it lets you do a lot. It gives you access to some very powerful answers and threats, as well as card drawing, counters, really good clock. So we'll lay all of this out. Wasteland has been strong tonight. If you've been watching the matches, was good versus Burn to actually destroy my own lands to get around Price of Progress, and then really good versus the mono-red sneak attack deck. So we got 4 Delvers.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to have to shuffle quite a bit next round.
Two fingers and like go up and down.
Just want to see his chat. Just not feeling good first. Yeah, that would be nice.
All right, so we have for the threat suite, we've got Deathrite Shaman at the beginning of the curve. Great mana acceleration, can allow for explosive plays. Young Pyromancer. Delver also an ideal first turn, and then topping out at True Name Nemesis. The card draw, we've got Gitaxian Probe, Ponder, and Brainstorm. Those have great synergy with our Cabal Therapies. We have more Cabal Therapies in the sideboard, so we're able to attack the hand and the stack with counter spells like Force of Will and Daze. So 4 Force, 4 Daze. For removal and reach, we've got Lightning Bolt, and we actually also have Gurmag Angler as additional threats. And we've got 1 extra random counter in Spell Pierce. For the mana base, we've got our 8 fetch lands. I think it might be best to have 2 of everything. The other argument there, I mean, this is all really small ball. You can go with 4 of Flooded Strand or Polluted Delta to try and signal that maybe you're playing a different deck than Grixis. But it's either that or you go with 2 of everything to try and play around things like Pithing Needle. It's probably not going to win anyone a match one way or another. But it can be fun, a little thought exercise. And then we've got 3 Volcanics, 2 Undergrounds, and the 1 Trop. The 1 Trop is mostly relevant for gaining life with Deathrite Shaman. Deathrite Shaman can produce green for your sideboard cards if you really need it. It's going to be the more common way to go to get green mana. But in those matches like Burn, where activating Deathrite gains you extra life, it's very strong. So that's the main deck. Pretty standard. I don't expect that to change that much now that Miracles is out of the format. Cabal Therapy is one of the cards that I can see getting better or worse depending on the metagame. And I could see Spell Pierce becoming another therapy depending on your where your blue count is with how many true names you have. Therapy's amazing with Young Pyromancer. So when you probe with the Pyromancer out, see what they have. Therapy, flash it back with the token. I mean, you just completely ruin their hand. And that's going to be really good versus decks like Show and Tell, which I expect to get better as well. It's pretty much chaos right now in the metagame. I think Death and Taxes is poised to be good, but then Elves comes out and it becomes what's quite possibly the best deck, which totally trumps Death and Taxes. So Miracles, I think, was clearly the best deck, and its absence is going to leave everybody else fighting for first place. And then the sideboard here is actually a total mess. A lot of these cards were kind of set up for miracles, and I didn't have a chance to change them this week. So in particular, Abrupt Decay and Sulfuric Vortex are really strong versus miracles. Colgan's Command is a card I was excited to test out. I think it's really good versus Death and Taxes, the ability to kill a vial and a creature, returning creatures from your graveyard. There's a lot of possible ways to go. More fun in the deck with Snapcaster Mage, but still really powerful nonetheless. Got an additional True Name Nemesis. Got a couple of Baleful Strixes in here, which can be good value. Another Cabal Therapy, which feels weak to just have kind of lying in the sideboard. Again, versus Death and Taxes, we've got the Dread of Night, Ancient Grudge. I'd like to see more Ancient Grudges getting in here, a couple of counter spells, and then some creature removal. Again, a lot of this stuff is kind of geared toward being good versus Death and Taxes, which we'll see how much that's going to be in the metagame now. That Elves is probably going to be played quite a bit, despite the fact that Gaia's Cradle is pretty damn expensive and at least a little bit of a barrier. So that's the list. We'll be going into the next round pretty soon, so I'm going to go ahead and shuffle this up. But thanks everybody for stopping by. We stream every Wednesday, and we also then host the videos on YouTube. We go ahead and clip them down and do some very basic edits, but it's just tournament magic here every week at Scholars. And for anybody in Massachusetts, we're in Brockton, and it's a really good crowd. You'll hear some of it in the background. We will also be announcing the really big tournaments that Kyle runs once a month roughly, and we've given away a lot of dual lands and some really awesome legacy staples of those. So, any questions over there from the stream? No one in the chat? Okay. All right.
We had somebody that was streaming something, but I can't put basic lands in. Oh, I got it. No, it's. I have seen. So have you seen the have you seen this serpent thing from Untitled? No.
We had one guy ask,
It's two blue.
basically to do more in between.
Yeah, no, that's why I did this. Yeah, I saw that.
It's like a filler. We should get like check commands for two blue. So that it pretty much opens up about our YouTube and know the times we
two color
stream and all that and whatnot.
Sure.
Blue are just because it like provides extra. It provides a significant
Like
amount of extra.
Ideally, having the YouTube connected to here would be great.
It's on the ground though.
If people on the YouTube will see.
I might have
they
trample.
stream this
Do
live.
you pull up the thing,
they have
the dark side device?
backlogs of all the podcasts and whatnot, so we'll just bring people to both.
It's networking basically.
Yeah.
I think like cryptic serpent, which Facebook's like type almond cut serpent. I think there's only one serpent because
Not a
it's
fan page.
So
Yeah, I haven't built a fan page yet for.
Like a Twitter would be good.
and not
Moving forward.
It's
Yep.
Egyptian
Yeah, we're.
So we do like posts when we go live, like an hour in advance. So we're like going live an hour.
Oh, yeah, 'cause they're-
Yeah, we may be at that point where we can start doing that. I think
because if that's viable, you
the
can
video
run
quality I think
YouTube
is getting there now that we've got the overhead cam.
Some number of snapcasters and that thing. And then you just
All right, so no questions from the chat. I'm gonna
if it has
stand up. You're gonna go to intermission.
Yeah, that wouldn't make it too good, probably. It's probably just a bullshit. Yeah.
You can stop the recording for that.